I think every home needs good natural light.
And art.
And art, yes. Yes, I agree. Our house does have good art. It does not have great natural light. That is the one thing I would change. I would like bust out so many more windows everywhere. Every time we renovate, I threaten to do it, but somehow I get talked out of it. But it might happen next time. Hey everyone, I'm Laurie Ann.
And I'm Taylor.
And this is our Handmade Home
in Phoenix, Arizona.
I am a fine art painter, and we are currently sitting in my studio, which also happens to be in my kitchen. The reason I chose this space was because I have this nice big window next to my table, and it gets the best light in the house.
And we moved her studio to other rooms in the house. She just kept wanting to come back here, so.
I feel like it creates a really creative energy kind of in our home, because we're looking at my art on the wall. I have paint on my palette right here. There's paint tubes everywhere. The kitchen studio lives on. Taylor and I met in college.
This is our first home that we bought together, and we immediately renovated it because it was
horrible.
It was so bad, we said we would never buy this house.
Like, you walked in and it was just dark, and it was mustard colored walls, not in a good way, like in a bad way. The first big change we made in this house was when you first walk into the house, it was kind of like the living room on the left, and then the kitchen was on the right, but there was just a doorway to get into the kitchen. And so we knocked the kitchen wall down and opened up the kitchen to the house. I think busting that wall down did a ton. It made the living room feel better. It made the kitchen feel better. You are currently in our living room looking at our kitchen and my kitchen studio, which is just my only studio. My color palette is very colorful, as you can see behind me. And we actually like living in a more muted color palette home, but I paint incredibly colorfully, and I just can't help it. Like, sometimes I will try to paint more muted, and color just comes out of me.
Our favorite spot is definitely our bedroom.
Definitely. And it's probably because it's the only room in our house that has been professionally decorated. One of our best friends, Sarah Gibson, she is a professional interior designer, and she came down one weekend and we kind of DIY'd it a little bit. We painted it. We painted furniture, we changed things out. We have a lot of hand-me-down heirlooms from my family, which I love these pieces, because these pieces have been, I have several of my grandmother's pieces of furniture, and I have several from my parents, but they're timeless. They all look amazing, with newer stuff. I love this fabric. I love everything about this chair, and it's really special to me because it was my grandmother's. This is Hazel. She has so many friends online. A couple of them have painted her portrait and sent them to us, and we hung them over her food and water bowl so that she has her own little gallery wall. She's a wire-haired fox terrier, and she's 10 years old. Hazel, come on, tell them something. Our proudest DIY is gonna have to be Taylor.
Yeah.
I don't have any. Taylor does though.
So I'm not a big DIYer at all, but when we were redoing the bedroom and the bathroom in there, we had to replace the bathroom features.
No, the plumbing fixtures.
The plumbing fixtures. And the lighting and everything in there. So I didn't know how to do any of it, but figured it out, got it done, and it looks amazing, and it was done right.
And it really transformed our bathroom a lot.
Yeah, it changed everything.
We did it was just stainless steel before, and then now it's a really pretty gold, which is fancy. All right, so this is what we call our office, right, Taylor? We call this our office. It's still a work in progress, but it houses one of the most beautiful things in our house, which is my rock collection. I am really, really inspired by being outdoors and nature and all of that. And one of the things that I love is collecting rocks. We have them in this really beautiful cabinet with all the natural light coming in.
On one of our last road trips into Utah, we saw a bunch of blue dirt and
Yes.
this little blue mound in the distance. So we drove
So
over
beautiful.
and she just like collected a bunch of blue dirt.
Being an artist, it's really important to diversify your income. So the way that we did that was we created art prints, which everything behind me is a wall of my art prints. So we print our own prints in-house, and we have a massive printer. Our print shop outgrew our space, so we had to move it into the garage, and this is it. This is primarily where Taylor works, so I will let him tell you about it.
Welcome to my office. This is where I print all of your prints, and this is where I slice them all. And then walk away.
Boom. I would also say my other favorite place in our house is our patio.
Yeah.
Our patio is kind of gorgeous. Our second renovation we did on our house was the patio.
When we knew the patio was in bad shape, our contractor was just like, I don't know how this hasn't fallen on you yet.
He was like, a good storm would have knocked this down.
Yeah.
This patio was terrible before we renovated. We completely ripped the roof off and had our contractor rebuild it, and it is so beautiful. We got pretty furniture, and it just really fits like our aesthetic that we love.
So one of the reasons we really wanted a nice patio space is because since our house is really small, when we have people over, it makes it feel even smaller. So we wanted to expand our house pretty much. And
our patio is like a second living room.
yeah, it's basically like a bigger, better living room.
It is better.
Yeah.
It is better. One day our regular living room will be better than it. One day.
And the weather here, it rains so little, and the weather's so nice usually that we can just go back there and it just feels nice being outside.
Totally.
Don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to Handmade for more home tours just like this. Thanks for stopping by.
We'll see y'all again soon.
Bye.